All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Welcome to our Inner Circle Live for New York session. I'm your host, Ryan Carthage. We'll be joined shortly by my awesome partner, Mr. Benny Allen. Hope everybody's doing well today on this beautiful Tuesday. As always, let's turn off all distractions, grab a pen and paper, let's take lots of notes. Let's make sure that we participate and engage. And we also want to make sure that we start our day off by taking massive action. That action stands for accepting all possible losses before entering a trade, preparing you for any outcome, centering yourself, body, mind, and spirit, ensuring a balanced approach to trading, trusting your education, strategy, trade skills, and intuition. Imagine your trade successfully materializing, obeying your trading strategy, avoiding decisions based on greed or fear, and never looking back or stopping once your trade has commenced. All right. So let's get to it. We want to dive into the market today. We got some work to do. Have some crazy pullbacks yesterday at market open due to releases of new AI technology, right? Large language models, or cost concerns. So we want to take a look at it. So, give me 1 second, everybody. All right, let's hop over to trading economics. We'll take a look at things there, and then we will continue rocking. So, let's do a refresh here. All right, major stocks in Europe rebound. Major European boroughs were higher on Tuesday, with the stocks 50 adding 0.5%, the stocks 600 gaining 0.7%, rebounding from losses in the previous session, which are driven by concerns over rising AI competition from China that sparked a sell-off in the tech sector, right? Investors also shift their focus to corporate earnings, with SAP upgrading its operating profit outlook. All right. Um, all right. Then we got Brent crude. Brent crude hovers futures rose to around 77.3 per barrel on Tuesday, but remained near a 2-week low as um, traders remain focused on President Donald Trump's wide-ranging set of tariffs Trump said he'd impose tariffs on foreign produced goods such as steel, aluminum, and copper in the near future, raising concerns over the potential ripple effects on global demand for commodities. All right. Additionally, his Treasury Secretary Scott Bassett um, is reportedly backing gradual universal tariffs on U.S. imports, starting at 2.5%. On Monday, crude prices slipped 1.8% amid a broad risk-off trade led by slumber technology stocks, as well as weak manufacturing data from top oil importer Canada. Uh, while the migrant dispute between U.S. and Colombia has been settled for now, Trump's tariff threats against China, Canada, and Mexico, along with his calls for OPEC to lower prices and boost U.S. production, continue to weigh on the market. All right, so that's what we got for crude. Then, right, you got dollar on the rise. U.S. dollar index climbed 107 on Tuesday, rebounding from a 6-week low as President Trump ramped up his tariffs, right? So again, Benny's been talking about filtering out the noise, right? And you see things come on the table, go off the table, come on the table, go off the table, right? And these are some of the things that will they'll move the market back and forth, but right, it's noise, right? It's noise, distractions from the main thing. So, in my opinion, anyway. So, um, the Trump announced his plans to impose tariffs on imported computer chips, pharmaceuticals, and steel, aiming to encourage domestic production of these goods. Traders also become more cautious as the February 1st deadline for its first round of tariffs was previously outlined draws near. Meanwhile, Federal Reserve began its 2-day policy meeting on today with the expectations that they will hold interest rates steady despite Trump's call for immediate rate cuts. Investors are focused on the central bank's inflation outlook for signals on when the next cut may occur. Right, the dollar strengthening against a range of currencies, with the biggest gains against the euro and the yen. Okay, so we'll continue to watch things there. I'm going to come back here, take a look at gold. Uh, Gold held its recent decline, 2,740 per ounce on Tuesday, as traders await the Federal Reserve's 2-day policy meeting, which begins on later today, with the central bank expected to hold rates steady. They're looking for Powell's speech and how he'll respond to Donald Trump's call for interest rate cuts. Gold's appeal as an inflation hedge could be reduced if Trump's policies, which are seen as inflationary, lead the Fed to keep rates elevated, right? So we'll see how this battle back and forth goes between Donald Trump and the Fed. It could be an interesting one, right? Uh, Additional downward pressure also came from the rising U.S. dollar as markets reacted to his threats. Okay. Precious metal dropped 1% in the prior session amid broad market sell-off after Chinese AI startup DeepSeek sparked massive rout in tech stocks. Okay. We're going to talk about DeepSeek. I think it set us up for this this tech battle to really run to the upside. Um, from an industry perspective, S&P 500 futures are up 0.4%. The Dow Jones gained about 25 points, and the Nasdaq rose 100. I'm sorry, the Nasdaq rose 0.7% as the market attempted to rebound from Monday's sharp sell-off. The downturn was driven by concerns over the U.S. AI dominance amid rising competition from China's DeepSeek. Nvidia shares rose by 0.5% in pre-market trading, recovering some losses after a staggering 16.9% drop on Monday, which wiped out nearly 600 billion off the market cap. The largest one-day loss in U.S. company history. Broadcom plus 3.6%, AMD plus 0.6%. Also saw pre-market gains. Meanwhile, earnings reports will remain the focus, with Boeing, Lockheed Martin, and Starbucks scheduled to release quarterly results. Investors are also eyeing the Federal Reserve, which began its two-day meeting today. All right. The market needed a correction, right? I was listening to a report yesterday where they were talking about a lot of speculative traders in the market pushing the market to crazy levels. It needed a correction, right? Um, so I think this was a good setup for for us to find some buying opportunities in the near future. It's my personal opinion. Um, so we'll see how things go. Kudos to Tyrone for dropping that into the community about DeepSeek, um, ahead of everything going crazy haywire. Over to the calendar. Um, Yesterday, I didn't get the chance to look at what Christine Lagarde had to say, or Chairman Schlegel for the S&B. Other than that, you had your manufacturing PMI out of China below expectation, right? And that's caused some of those concerns with oil. So we'll continue to monitor that side of it. Mhm. Yeah, Japan CPI come in at midnight, moving to the upside, right? Getting toward that goal, 1.9%, inching closer toward that 2% target, which should probably be end up around 2.7% when it's all said and done. Today we got core durable goods orders. We got consumer confidence, and then you got monetary meeting minutes for Japan, right? To see what their conversation was, to give us some insight on future movement. And tonight you got CPI for your Aussie dollar. And then tomorrow, right, we got rate statement coming out of the UK, rate statement coming out of Canada. Both of those, I'm sorry, no, not out of the UK. Rate statement out of Canada. Sorry. Governor Bailey speaks just ahead of that rate statement. And then you got your rate statement for the Federal Reserve. All right. So a busy day tomorrow, morning and afternoon. We could see some movement in the market there. So we'll keep our eyes peeled there. Canadian dollar and the Fed. And then on Thursday, you got your ECB rate statement. All right. So back to back, three of them back to back. Be interesting second half of the week, and then you got this GDP for Canada, for PCE for the United States, and employment cost index for the United States as well. All right, so busy second half of the week with rate statements for Canada, United States, and the Eurozone. So that's what we got. Benny, good morning, bro.
Good morning, Ryan. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
Oh man, doing pretty good. Glad to be here. Good morning, everybody.
Awesome, man. Talk to me about your thoughts.
Oh man, just following like everybody this whole deep seek, you know, situation. And wondering really how transparent they're being, right? In regards to the spend. Uh I was listening to the one show last night where uh they said that they said they spent what 6 million or whatever it was. Um,
Uh-huh.
but they said like when you look at the finer details in the writing that it said, hey, this does not include, pretty much doesn't include all costs. What's the
It
disclaimer
doesn't include all
associated with?
costs.
Well, because they pretty much ran with what was already created.
It was
You see
already
them,
created.
you see what I'm saying? So there,
Uh-huh.
so what's the cost? So you wonder like going forward in the future, you know what I mean? What the real cost will be is like it's not going to stay stagnant. Those things are dynamic. You have to continue to innovate. You have to continue to build upon what you created. So what is that spend going to be in the future? So I think everybody's trying to figure out the nitty-gritty details of it at this point. A lot of people feel like it's a big thing, but the way the market reacted was kind of overblown.
Yep.
So I'm wondering if the market's going to pick up and rally from here. I wish I would have played a lot of those 80/20s like
Man,
on
yeah.
like I know we had called like going over the charts. There was one on the Nasdaq 100. There was an 80/20 on the one that completely the bottom fell out. So I guess a lot of times the technicals don't lie. You know what I mean? Like
Man, listen.
it was due for something, and it looked like we got it. So I agree with you. It's setting up for buy opportunities and things like that. So like you said, it was a duly needed correction in the market. And the market's been trying to figure itself out as we come into 2025, and we're pretty much through at the end of January now, and it's still sorting itself out. So just continuing to be patient, man. Be patient. But like you said, it was something that was needed from a technical standpoint. These markets have been sitting really, really high as of late. So
There's that 80/20 on the NASDAQ. Boom. Crazy
yeah.
work to the downside.
Yeah, it was crazy. I looked at that like, wow, you know. Um some of the things pull me off some of these setups because of the whole situation that's been going on with Smart Trader, that whole debacle and the price point. So
Yeah.
I've been having to verify a lot of prices, you know, on Google and stuff like that to see if these are accurate or not. So that's been a bit of a headache, but yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Appreciate you, bro.
Yep.
The other, this is the chart I was really looking at here, right? Yeah, there are 80/20s played out there, but this NVIDIA chart,
Hmm.
right? It was an 80/20 also,
Hmm.
but look where it pushed,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Right into the zone where we wanted it to. Now I'm looking to see if we settle in here at this 114 level,
Yeah.
right? If we're able to settle in there, we got our stochastic in the buy zone.
Hmm.
It's
That's on
right
a
in
daily
line.
too, right?
That's on the daily, yeah.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, right. So Wall Street target is 172, then this is a perfect setup for it, right? Prices were high, had tons of money sitting in here from speculative folks. Run that money off the table, get us a lower price, and set up for a run back to the upside, right? We come down to the four, same story, right? 80/20 setup. This area is golden, folks, right? Even with all the back and forth happening, boom, right? So now are we able to settle in today, tomorrow in this zone, set up for a swing low on the daily and look for a ride, right? Um, what's your original position, Dre? 114?
It's in that area because I'm at $5 right now.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Great work on that. Great work on that, right? So if we're able to get price to settle in, right? Opportunities to add to those positions, man. Um, it's a beautiful the way this market moves is a beautiful thing, right? Once you take the time to understand it. And so these oh, the world is ending, the skies are falling, right? They're falling right into where we want them to. So boom. So I'm looking for buying opportunities on this to add to my position. Um, in my trading account and my investment account. So, while everybody else is scared off, I think that it sets us up for a buying opportunity from a trading and an investing perspective, but also when it comes to the cost, right? Being talking about the cost. So yes, they probably spent more money than they uh, articulated, but I also think that it does open the door for the question of, is there more efficiency that can be had with the money that's being spent to do more in the space? And I think that answer could also be yes. Right. I think the money that Nvidia has, I think they'll
There's
huh?
food downstairs.
Uh, I think that Nvidia will be able to take a look at this and find additional efficiencies to really be able to spark more innovation and take what they have and what they're working on to a completely different level. So I think this 172 is definitely in line as we move to the upside. So I think all of this is a setup for a crazy run to the upside that I think we'll see over the next year. 113.51. Sweet. Great work. Great work, Joy. All right. So those are my thoughts on this runoff to the downside yesterday. And what we could potentially be setting up for from an NVIDIA perspective. So we looked at the NASDAQ, looked at the S&P 500. um, um, S&P 500. So I ended up just running the fib off this low here. There was a manual fib that would have come into play like this. Um, Actually, that would have been here. Boom. All right, that's a fresh AB boundary. Yep, just above. So let me pull this out real quick. Right, fresh AB boundary that we hit on that push to the upside late last week, right? And so it makes sense for a retracement to come here, all right? Um, Maybe there we go. So it makes sense for a retracement to come here, right? Hit a D extension, forming a swing high, right? So now can we get, we're retesting the cloud here also. Stochastic showing themselves, and I think this could start to push down once the market opens with that crazy sell-off yesterday. We could move down a little further, right? But do we settle in this 236 area and push into this 6300, 6400 range, right? Um, so that's what I'm looking to see is how price moves here, right? From a daily time frame perspective. This is just a pullback and a settle in for a move higher. We'll come down to the 4. Yeah, yeah, I'm with you on that. Definitely interested to see how this moves. Okay, so that's that manual fill. I want to pull that out on the 4 and run this off of the low. Even though that's a D extension as well. That same manual fib is also valid on the 4. I want to see what these smaller waves look like. Um, that got taken out. So we'll come here. And that move also got taken out there, right? So just took out that A boundary there, just shy of that 118, 127 zone. So we'll see there. Let's go down to the 1. And that's what your 1 hour looks like, right? That's an 80-20 there. And we also saw, boom, to the downside. All right. Strong sell-offs just inside that AB boundary. We got a bounce. Let's see how the market moves here as we go through the next couple of days with the Fed meeting tomorrow or the Fed rate statement tomorrow. Um, it could push a little lower, Reese. I'm interested to see what the Fed has to say. Um, I think that my desire is that it settles in. We'll see what the Fed has to say and what the market's reaction to that is. Um, I definitely think they hold rates. Um, but it's about that forward guidance and what that looks like. And um, I think they're going to be more cautious. But if there's any hint of if they're more cautious, that could cause price to come down a little bit further. But if there's any hint of bullishness that they try to squeeze out of that, then we could see um, a rally from that. But um, based on the fib sequence, we got one or two options, right? Either we continue to the downside here and come back to this 5684 area, right, and retest that trend line at the 382, or we get a push to the upside. So I'm interested to see how the stochastic plays out in this strong move to the downside from yesterday, right? Does this push down further and get closer to that buy zone? If that occurs, right, and we see momentum start to swing, then yes, I think we push to the upside. So just looking at a couple different variables there when it comes to this. From a tech perspective, I think that um, I think that the narrative will start to shift on this, and it won't be as doom and gloom. So from that perspective, yeah, I think those talks will slow down a little bit, and there'll be something else that takes center stage from a narrative and conversation perspective. I know it wasn't a direct answer to the question, but we shall see. Over to the dollar. Boom, right? We came down in this range that we're looking for, 618 retracement. And you see the push to the upside, right? You got a nice push to the upside with a lot of risk off movement, risk off conversation, and with tariff talks, no doubt. Along with tariff talks, you see the dollar starting to push to the upside. So I want to see, we also got stochastic in the buy zone. Do we fill out this swing low with a higher candle tomorrow, right? Um, and how do we finish today, right? Nice bullish action here. Does that set us up for that continuation to the upside, getting us to ultimately 112? We'll see. We'll see, right? But that's what we're looking for, price coming to the zone. So looking to see how price continues to track there. We come down to the 4. And all of that got taken out. And that's your AB boundary to the upside there on the 4. Okay. So come down to the 1. Wasn't an 80-20, right? We got to that 382, but we stalled in that 118, 127 zone still with some key support there and gave us that turnover. So looking to see if this move to the upside can continue, right? We may get a pullback here to close this gap here, but that'll set us up nicely for a crown pattern. Right? So we could like see a pullback come through at some point, setting us up for a nice ABCD wave to the upside on the 1 hour time frame. So looking for potentially continue movement to the upside on the dollar, but we got those Fed rate statement tomorrow that will kind of give us the story, right, on where we'll go. But looking more dollar upside than not. So we shall see. Questions on the DXY?
Nope.
Nope. All right, cool deal. I want to touch on this pound NZD. I don't know if anybody ended up taking this trade, but We didn't push deeper in the zone. We settled in right in that 118 and 127 zone here on the 4. Beautiful 80-20 move to the upside. Broke the cloud. Looking for a pullback and potential continuation there. Step back to the daily. And this is the overall move, right? So it headed toward, what's that? Headed toward 232, right? And I was looking to see here if this was an opportunity to get long here to continue this move to the upside at some point. And it's turning over. Stochastic getting higher in the zone. Let's see if we're able to stay above the cloud. But this is a beautiful reversal. Nice 80-20 on the 4, right? We come down to the 1. Hold on one second, everybody. We come down to the 1. And there's an 80-20 on the 1 as well. Okay. Beautiful move to the upside. So we got to TP1. Now looking to see if we're able to continue this move long, over the long term, right? So we can start tracking these fibs to the upside here, right? We got an 80-20 here on the sub fib, so look for a pullback and a continuation to the upside here. Boom. So this was a nice move. I did end up taking a position on this one. So sending this one pretty good to the upside so far. Any questions on this pound NZD? Oh, all right.
No questions.
I didn't think it was going to continue up if you're looking for that pullback, but we'll see.
You said you don't think it's going to continue up?
Yeah, I didn't see the higher time frame, but
Oh, yeah. So the higher time frame on the daily, that's the overall move there.
oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So I was looking to see if we can come back and retest some of this area here, right? So this box kind of extended from this left side here. So I was looking to see if we can come back into this zone to give us a nice setup for a move to the upside. So, excuse me. Yeah, so I am looking long term upside on this. We'll see. We got to break this this 224 level first though. So we'll see how things fare there if we're able to break that level. So we shall see. We shall see. All right, cool beans. So that was the pound NZD. This dollar yen. We came back to just shy of this 50% retracement level, right? And we're range bound right here, right? Stochastic still closer to that buy zone. If we get that dollar bullishness, we'll see this start to take back off to the upside. And looking at a target of 163, right? We'll see what the Bank of Japan has to say as we get close to that 160 mark again. But my target on this dollar yen is 163, 193. So that's what I'm tracking right now is this D extension. Okay. I'm tracking that level. And I definitely think we could get there even with the pullbacks that we've had and the risk off sentiment and all those things. I think we still get to mid 160s before Bank of Japan really actually makes any moves or changes. And that could also go higher than that as well. So we shall see. But that's what we're looking at on the daily. Coming down to the 4 here, right? We ranged in that B boundary zone, came just shy of that 118 level. Nice retracement, right? So this gave us a 7.8 8.6 retracement here on the 4. Zoom in a little bit here. Right, 8.6 retracement here on the 4. So on the 4-hour matching extension 158, 780, 780. Right. So I'm looking for a continuation to the upside here from this perspective. Nice reversal swing low form there on the 4. So looking to see if we can break out of this range and continue this track to the upside, getting us started for that longer term move. Okay. Coming down to the 1. Oops, not the 30. Similar story as the 4. Right. So I think we got a nice setup here to make this move to the upside. Let's see what the cloud has to say. Still below the cloud there and still below our trend line. So we'll see if we're able to get a cloud break and a run. Questions on the dollar yen?
Nope.
Right. Dollar CAD just messy, right? Just ranging. Not much doing here, sitting at a B boundary, right? Stochastic in the buy zone. Okay. So not much doing here at all for quite some time. So I'm gonna leave that B where it is, and we'll see what happens tomorrow with the dollar CAD. Dollar Swiss making a run to the upside. Got a nice little pullback that came in. Excuse me. Yep, okay. So just got to that 50% retracement level, trying to move to the upside, stochastic in the buy zone. Right. Looking north here. I don't see any. Benny, have you seen anything from the S&B? Anything that stood out to you?
Not yet. Not yet. I mean, like I said, a lot of times people don't even trade it because they're not as transparent as the other central banks. I haven't seen anything lately.
Yeah, yeah, me either. Me either. Um, so we'll see, right? But if we get that dollar strength, swing low comes in, right? So catching in that buy zone could be a buy opportunity here, run to the upside. 94,874. All right. So that's on the daily. To the 4. Boom. 786 retracement. Nice swing low formed. Look for this to continue moving long. All right. Before we get to the daily, the extension 92,781 will be the target here on the 4. Okay. So sitting in the sweet spot here. So this could be an opportunity for a move to the upside as well once you get your trend line break. Okay. So that's a dollar Swiss looking long there. Aussie dollar. Well, this one is intriguing to me, right? Because from a daily perspective, we're still here. Stochastic in the sell zone. Let's see what the Fed has to say, right? If they come in with more of a bullish tone, right, we could see the risk on that dollar falls back and you see this rise, right? So I'm interested to see how things move here. Okay. Um, it's been in the zone for a while as well, just lingering here. So we shall see. We come down to the 4 here. We got a nice retracement, 50% here. And we're pulling back now with that dollar strength. So we'll see what the Fed has to say and see if that gives us a catalyst in one direction or the other, right? From a DXY perspective, see strength, but looking at this chart, I don't know. Against the Aussie, I don't know. I don't know. Um, let's see what let's see what we got for the Aussie. 62.50 on Tuesday, looking for a second consecutive session. That'll gain momentum following the tariff threats. Risk aversion of global markets. I'll wait on the Aussie as concerns over the deep seek. Data showed an improvement in the Australian business confidence in December. Investors are now focused on upcoming local inflation figures, which could strengthen expectations for a potential rate cut for the Reserve Bank of Australia in February. Okay, so we'll watch their data also and see and see where this goes. But rate cut could then favor the dollar and that move to the downside. So we'll see here on the Aussie. I'm intrigued by this daily time frame chart here. All right, so I'm watching that closer to see how this moves. That's where we are on the 618 retracement. Nice pullback here. What happens from there? Benny, you're long on the dollar too, right? Just overall.
I am at the overall because like you say, what's going on with the tariff threats? You're looking at looking at other central banks cutting rates. Yeah, the U.S. is looking to hold again, like you said, that forward guidance from the next Fed meeting is going to be very, very important.
Yeah.
Just to rewind, right? We were thinking 2024, we're going to see 4 cuts in 2025. The last Fed meeting in December, they projected that they were only going to do 2. That moved the markets, right? I expect them to hold at this next meeting, and then it's going to be interesting to see what they say after that. You know, right. Especially with all the bluster coming from Donald Trump, telling them to cut rates. So, which the Fed is an independent body, and so far, Jerome Powell, at least in the past, has held pretty firm in regards to his stance, and I'm grateful that he did. You know, considering Trump was pushing for rates to be cut in 2020, and coming out of that whole mess. So it'll be interesting to see what happens at this next Fed meetings and what the consensus is overall.
Yeah, I dig it. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. So we'll see. We'll see where we go with this Aussie dollar. All right. Questions here, team? All right. Euro dollar. Benny had his eye on this one, right? Push to that 618 level. And just shy that 786 retracement there. Got stochastic in the buy zone, and we're turning over here, right? You gotta have an evening star pattern form there. Potential setup for that move to the downside, right? So let's watch this one here from a daily time frame perspective. could be in for a continuation down. 618 retracement there on the daily. Coming here to the 4. Oops, no. Just shy of that 786 also. And we're moving down. Right? Benny called this one, like I said. So watch for that continuation to the downside here. Getting us back to parity. If we see that continued dollar strength. Boom. So that's the 4-hour on the euro dollar. Short. Right? Could be in for that move to the downside for a little while there. Getting to that D extension. Down on the 1. Yeah, that's what I thought. There we are there. That one's mixed, right? Got a 50% retracement, didn't quite get to the D extension, moving to the downside. So we'll look for a pullback and a continuation here. And this would be better seen on the 15 or the 30. But if we get a nice retracement here, it's pressing down now. If we get a nice retracement there, back into the zone on the 1. If you're a 1-hour trader, that'll be a nice setup for you to the downside. All right. But trading off that daily and the 4-hour time frame, evening star pattern, right? Nice setup for a move down. Of course, it's on the euro dollar.
Nope.
Full deal, pound dollar. It's the manual fib that I've had in for quite some time. We'll see how this fares. Stochastic is in the sell zone there. This markup likely won't stand. Could head lower and take out that A. We'll flip that fib there. Boom. So potential opportunities to the downside here. Stochastic in the sell zone, right? Turning over just shy of that 618 retracement level. Okay. So looking short here with dollar strength. Coming down to the 4. No data. All right. Boom. 80-20 to a 618 retracement. Right in the sweet spot for an opportunity short. All right. So beautiful setup here. Looking short, matching extension 120. So there's your opportunity to the downside on the pound dollar. Boom, boom, boom. Come down to the 1. Haven't broken the cloud yet there, but sitting deep in the zone with an 8-6 retracement. All right. So that's a nice setup also for short opportunities on a run to the downside. Questions on the pound dollar? The euro dollar and pound dollar pretty clean to me.
No, sir.
beans. Not really a fan of the CAD yen, Aussie CAD, right? Oops. On a tear to the upside, we're pulling back now ahead of that rate statement, stochastic in the sell zone. So we'll see what happens with that rate statement to see if there's a catalyst for this to continue to move back down, give us another potential crown pattern here. I don't think we get like full Canadian dollar strength or anything like that that'll cause this to really run off. But we could be in for something like this though. It's been a strong move to the upside, no retracement, right? So this is just a setup for a pullback and a continuation to the upside, I think. Okay. Especially we get that swing low, swing high to form there and a nice retracement to the downside. Boom. Okay. So on this, I'm looking for a low price to get long. So we'll come down to the 4. There's your move to the upside off of that daily support level, right? With a long move down, took out the A, right? From September to January, right? So now do we make that same move back to the upside? So looking to see, right? But looking for that pullback and then see if we can get a continuation long. Okay. So casting the buy zone there also. Come down to the 1. We're inching deeper in the zone there. 80-20 scenario. Boom. Beautiful move down, cloud break, acceleration. All right, so this one could definitely continue to accelerate down. Like I said, giving us that right tip. Take out that A potentially as well, and then we'll look for a move back to the upside. So looking for low prices on this Aussie CAD. Questions on this one?
Nope.
Cool deal. Pound CAD running long. Right. My question on this one is, do we get a pullback at all for a continuation? This monthly crown pattern may not be the deal. Just interested to see what it looks like. So here we are, double bottom here, just shy at 382, push to the upside. So casting in the sell zone here. So here we're looking for pullbacks and continuations to the upside here. All right. Yeah, pullbacks and continuations on this one to the upside, right? Strong move long. We'll see if we come back and retest this 177 level and then give us a push to the upside. Okay, coming down to the 4. Deeper in the zone here, I don't think we get a full move down to that 173 level, right? You got the stochastic pushing down into the buy zone here. So after that rate statement, we could see a pullback. And that type of action there. Something like that. Retest that cloud, right? We got the cloud break here. Come back, retest the cloud, continue moving north. So I'm not bullish on the Canadian dollar right now. I'm not. We'll see if things change. But moment, we're not there. So let's see. Let's see. So that's what I'm looking for on the 4. On the 1, that was a beautiful 80-20 to the upside. Take off. I missed that one. 500 pips. Boom. Pull back, continuation. So that's what I'm looking for on the bound cat. Questions?
No, sir.
Benny, any final thoughts before we wrap it up, bro?
No, sir. I'm definitely I'm interested to see how the market opens up today
Yeah.
after the sell off yesterday. You know, because like I said, there's a lot of skepticism around what DeepSeek put out. I think is definitely think is an eye opener. But in regards to that cost figure, just digging in on the greater details of that. And then, hey, just looking ahead to that Fed meeting. You know, I
Yes,
think
sir.
that's gonna be a mover, and not necessarily them holding rates, but what they say afterwards in
What they
regards to
say after.
forward guidance. So that's what I'm looking forward to, man. Great session. Appreciate you.
No doubt, bro. Appreciate you, man. All right, good people. We'll be back at it tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the pre-New York session. You guys have a phenomenal day. Peace.
Thank you.